Okay, y'all, I know I am not the only one that gets Mexican food cravings at the oddest times of the day. But the restaurants aren't always open and they're expensive. So let's make our own dang burrito, y'all. So to start off, I am just going to make one of these little packets of Spanish rice. Now, you can use whatever kind of rice you want. You can use plain white rice if you want to. But this Spanish rice just tastes really good. And I just make sure that I whisk it when I use one of these little packets, because sometimes the seasoning part of it gets kind of clumpy. So you're just going to make that according to your package directions. And then I'm just going to heat up a little can of refried beans. So I got my beans all heated up and I scooted them over, and then I moved my rice to that back burner because I'm going to go ahead and get my taco meat done. Now, this is some taco meat, clearly, y'all, that I had in the freezer. And I am just going to take it out and put it in this pan. I add a little bit of water to it just so it doesn't, get all dried out. And then you're just going to let it really slowly reheat. Now, normally I would do this maybe in the microwave, but since I'm going to be using a pan anyway, I didn't want to dirty up an extra bowl. So this is the way I'm going to do it. So as you can see, you just cook it real slow, and then you get it all back to normal taco meat status. And then once your rice is done, you're just going to add a couple of spoonfuls of your rice right into your meat. Now, I just kind of eyeball how much I like in there. You can add as much or as little as you want. And I mean, really, y'all, you don't have to add rice at all if you don't want to. But this is a really good way to just bulk up a burrito and make it a complete meal where you're actually going to be full when you eat the darn thing. So I just mix my rice around in there, and of course you've got your seasoning in your rice mix, and then you have, it was taco meat that we had made before, so the meat's already seasoned good, and then you got some rice that's seasoned all good. So you don't need to add any extra seasoning to this, y'all. So I just added a little bit of that corn that I had left over. And then I'm also going to add in a little bit of the black beans that we had left over. And this, y'all, I had this stuff left over from when I had made some nachos. And that'll be in a video coming up. But I just, you hate to throw anything away. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to save all this. And I accidentally put the darn taco meat in the freezer. I didn't really mean to do that. But it's all good because you see we can just reheat it right on back up. So you just want to let that simmer together a little bit so all the little flavors can get combined. And that's it, y'all. We're going to make us some burritos. Now, if you are enjoying my video, I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Now, these burritos are going to be big because I had the really big, I guess they're the burrito tortillas, but anyway, they're the real big ones, y'all. They're like 10 inches, I think. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how big they are, y'all, but they're big. So I'm going to start out by putting a little layer of my refried beans. And you don't have to do refried beans if you don't like refried beans. Or you can do more than I use. You can do a little bit less. I do like to spread my beans out all over my tortilla because I don't necessarily like, when I'm eating like a beef burrito, I don't like to bite into a huge bite of nothing but refried beans. But I do like the refried beans. So I just spread them out just over the whole thing. And that way when you roll it up, you'll have, it'll be pretty even throughout your little burrito. So just spread all that out. And then you're going to take your meat and rice and beans and corn. You're going to take your meat mixture. And you're just going to plop that down. And like I said, these are really big burritos, or really big tortillas, y'all. So I made sure to put a good bit of filling. And I wasn't real sure how much, because I'm just using leftover meat. So I wasn't real sure how much I was going to have. So I just did a little at a time. So I just did 2 pretty good spoonfuls of my mixture. And then I added a little bit of cheese to the top of each one. And then I'm going to go ahead and just get these all rolled up. Now, you can add I'm going to put some of these in the freezer. So I didn't want to put like lettuce and stuff on here. But if you're going to eat it right away, go ahead and add you some salsa, lettuce, sour cream, whatever you want. Just, whatever you like in a burrito. You could even put some cheese dip or something in there. Like the queso dip. You could put some of that in there if you wanted to. Now, this is how I seal my burritos, y'all. I just put a little bit of the refried bean right there on the edge, and look, it seals it right on down, so nothing's gonna fall out. But like I was saying, you can do any kind of toppings that you want. You could do a Mexican blend cheese. I just had cheddar, so that's what I used. And just bulk up whatever. Add just some extra tomatoes in there, whatever you want. Just make sure you seal your little burritos up, y'all, so they don't come flapping open. So I ended up having enough. Oh, look at there. Perfect. So I ended up having enough to do 3 big burritos with the meat mixture. And then I also thought, I do have some subscribers that are vegetarian. So I thought, I'll make just a bean and cheese burrito so you can see that also. I mean, I know it's pretty easy, but just so you can see that there are options. And you also, if you don't do meat, you can also put just the rice and stuff in there. However you want to do it. You can make these with chicken too. But I was going to eat one of these, y'all. So I went ahead and this is a nonstick pan, but I like a little, make sure I get a good little crust on my burrito. So I just sprayed a little bit of cooking oil in there. And then you just let it sit there and brown, and this will go on and melt your cheese. Look at there, y'all. I also stood it up on each side and let it just kind of, because I wasn't real sure where my cheese had ended up, and I wanted to make sure it was good and melted. So I got all the sides of this burrito browned. And then I just cut it in half. And look at that, y'all. Oh my gosh, this is so good, and it's so filling. All right, so here we go. This is what I did with my extra burritos. Now, don't panic, because these are just going to be for me, so don't panic when you see my arm laid across my darn saran wrap, y'all. But you just put your burrito right there in the center, and then you're just going to fold up one side and then fold up the other side, and then just gather up the 2 ends and fold those under. And that's it. When you get ready to eat these, you can take them out and put them in your refrigerator and let them thaw overnight. If you want to do that, and then you can just, brown them in your pan like I did. Or you can take them out frozen, unwrap them from the plastic wrap, wrap them in a damp paper towel, and then just heat them until they're heated through. Now, I'm not real sure how long to tell you to reheat, because it's really going to depend on the size of your burrito. So just kind of, put it in there, I would say, for 30 seconds and check it. Maybe, just kind of keep checking on it and make sure, that it's done, that it's good and cooked. But y'all, this is what she looks like. Oh my gosh, these burritos are so good. They're so inexpensive to make. You can put as little or as much as you want. If all you have is meat and cheese, then make you some meat and cheese burritos. But they're great. You can make them ahead. You can freeze them. You'll have them for lunches. Or you can just have these, for a meal anyway. They got so much good stuff in them. So make sure that you give these things a try.